We are back with more of My Southern Home, and I'm here with Rodney Kistner with Chenoweth Appliances. And Rodney, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us here today, Kimberly.
So this home that was built by
Chris Carey.
Yes, is gorgeous.
It's a beautiful custom home nestled here in Prospect near the river. Beautiful neighborhood, still a lot of development going on, but we're proud to have provided the appliances for this new home. And there's monogram in the kitchen upstairs. We have profile here in the basement.
So what made Chris choose two different lines?
I guess the elegance and prestige of the monogram brand. It's the highest line that General Electric offers in the kitchen, and profile is probably the most popular line that we sell for down here at the bar. Probably nicer than most bars have in them. But I think that's the reason. The difference in, you wouldn't necessarily put monogram in the basement.
Well, one of the neat things about working with a company like Chenoweth Appliances is they have so many different lines, and you can find different price points.
Correct.
To fit your budget.
That's correct. Yeah, in the GE line, it starts with Hot Point. There's the regular GE line, there's GE Profile, GE Cafe, and GE Monogram. And then if you jump to our other main manufacturer, it's Whirlpool, which Whirlpool offers Amana, Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and their highest line, JennAir. And then we also offer the best laundry in the business, and everyone thinks this, is Speed Queen.
Well, one of the things that I enjoyed so much, and I want to give you guys a personal plug because I've known Wayne since I was 20 years old working at Landmark Community Newspaper. So it's been a long time. And when I purchased appliances a couple years ago for my house, I worked with you. And it was a great experience because you really took the time to take me to all the different things that I needed and answer questions and talk about pros and cons.
Well, there's a lot of knowledge and experience that exists at Chenoweth Appliances. The business is nearly 50 years old. Next year they'll be celebrating 50 years. There's over, 100, 150 years experience there. So I've learned a lot in the 3 years that I've been there. But you do get a lot of knowledge, experience. We have our own delivery team, 10 or 12 men that are kind of the unsung heroes of the business, I think. Danny and Wayne. Danny's children work there, so it's very family oriented.
So with your delivery team, Chenoweth Appliances does things differently than some of the other companies out there when it comes to delivery. Correct.
They will go above and beyond. I mean, sometime you bring in an enormous appliance, you may have to take the door off the house. You may have to take something off of the appliance. And a lot of our competitors, they won't do that. And so what ends up happening, they take it back there, have to go through the process of the return, and they end up coming to us. And then if they haven't already been there, which most people have, we have a very loyal repeat business. We hear daily people come in and tell us that they've been buying their appliances there for 40 years. Or they knew Mr. Lyons, who started the business and worked at General Electric. I actually had a gentleman in yesterday that said he had something that no one else has. He said, Dan Lyons, not that Dan Lyons, pointing to Danny, he said, was my supervisor at GE. It was kind of neat.
When it comes to appliances, people think, oh, well, I need a new fridge. But I feel like that a lot of families don't take the time to research what type of fridge or what type of dishwasher they need to fit their personal needs.
Right, and hopefully they come in and ask the questions or give us enough information about themselves that we can give advice and maybe direct them this way or that way. Maybe a side-by-side refrigerator versus a French door refrigerator with a bottom freezer. If people are older, you have to bend over. And we hear these things. They'll say, well, I don't want to bend over. Even though the French doors may be more popular, maybe it makes more sense to go with a side-by-side. Or even a basic top freezer, bottom refrigerator, depending on the application in a smaller home or a garage or a basement or something like that.
So what are some of the things that homeowners need to think about when it comes to a refrigerator, for example?
Well, size. I mean, refrigerators have gotten enormous. When I was a kid, the biggest refrigerator you could probably purchase was about a 22 cubic foot, which was just a top freezer, bottom fridge, kind of like people my age. That's what we grew up with. Now you can get up to, I think, about what we carry, a 29 cubic foot refrigerator. So if you've got a house full of kids, you need all that space. Can your kitchen accommodate it? Do you have 36 inches wide and about 70 inches tall that it'll fit in that space? And a counter depth refrigerator, which is 5 inches shallower, if you had an island in your kitchen and you needed some space, or a galley type kitchen, maybe a counter depth is more applicable. And then, but you lose about 6 cubic feet. So we hear that when they open it up, well, my big party tray won't fit in there as good. And I'm like, well, it's still a pretty big refrigerator. And most people, and we advise, have a backup refrigerator, especially when we just went through the pandemic. People would come in and it's going to take 3 months to get a refrigerator. You're living out of a cooler. So get a $600 or $700, $800 refrigerator and put it in your basement or a garage ready for the garage. And those are things you could consider. You know, dishwashers, you can go from a very basic unit. It's going to be a little louder to a 39 decibel unit that you won't even hear it running. And, you know, we kind of walk people down that path when they come in. And again, there's tons of knowledge in the room.
Well, thank you so much, Rodney. We really appreciate you giving us such valuable information.
Thanks for having us.
We'll be back with more My Southern Home in just a moment.